Hi all, right back with more Labyrinth playing the extended campaign solo. Just let me. This is my part 12. Sorry, just messing about. It looked like the phone was hanging about on the bit of fall off there. I'm still got this old tripod that's sort of hanging on in there. It's a bit worn out to be honest, but I like it. Anyway, same night. So I've got a bit done today. So I've got parts. Well, I had half of part 9 done. So I've completed that. So that's part 9, part 10, part 11, and this is part 12. And I might actually get a bit more this done. There's still a bit of the night left. So moving along. So bad things happened the end of last turn. It's a new turn. Although when I was away, I was sort of thinking to myself, when I was downstairs had a bit of pizza the night for dinner, and so stomach shouldn't be rumbling anymore. So there was a big rumble earlier on. I don't know if it came through in the camera or not. I'm curious on the recorder. I'll be curious to see if that does. Anyway, while I was having my dinner, I was thinking, right, we go shoved to hard, we got a prestige down to low, bad finish. I mean, the rest of the stuff is okay-ish. Somalia didn't go horribly wrong, we got away with that. We got Afghanistan to good, that's right. So freeze the troops up there and move them about. But then I started thinking, I suppose, this is horrible. We can't do War of Ideas. But what we can do, while we're hard, don't get me wrong, we need at least one troop back on the track, but I've just said I've freed these up. We can regime change in Central Asia now, while we're hard. So, obviously we need, it's a 3 ops card you're going to need for that. And what was the other thing? What was the other thing that was on my mind? Yeah, basically do that. Okay, we need 3 ops cards, one to do that, and then probably want to move back to soft again. But while we're at hard, we're as well doing this first, aren't we? Like I say, hold on a minute. Can't these 6 troops just move from Afghanistan into Central Asia to do the regime change? I would think they probably can. Regime change. US must be hard. Use 3 ops. Deploy 6+ troops. All cells to active. Shift to ally. Roll governance. Place green regime change marker. Roll for prestige as well, by the way. And we were as well rolling for it. The worst that can happen is it goes to 1, which is okay. Still another nudge down, but it's not. We do have the chance of possibly rolling high and getting it back up again. Deploy 6+ troops, and then so deploy as. All right, hang on there. Maybe this. Right. For regime change, it says deploy 6+ troops. For deploy, it says the target's got to be an ally Muslim country or the troops track. 7.3.4. Let's look there. Because I'm not 100% sure I can move them from country to country, but it's not really saying anything there. I just kind of, anytime I've done it, they've came from the troops track, so I'm wondering if we can do what I've just said. 7.3.4. 7.3.4 regime change. It's a special type of deploy operation. It requires the US to be hard posture and have at least 6 troops able to deploy from a single location and not committed to another regime change country. or not committed to other regime change countries. The destination must be a country under Islamist rule. Unlike normal deploy, okay. That's why it's saying there, because the normal deploy doesn't say anything about it being regime Islamist rule, you know. So, but it's a special type of deploy. So yeah, we can. It does say from a single location, at least 6 troops able to deploy from a single location. Well, none of them need to stay there now. That's even better then. So I don't need to mess about in deploying troops. Okay, good stuff. Right. So yeah, it's maybe not. It felt really bad and unfortunate and a wee bit unlucky at the end of the turn, but we're as well doing that. It'll get rid of their 2 points. Okay, it's going to leave Afghanistan a bit vulnerable, but there's no cadre marker there. They can't just straight up, they're not going to have it easy to deploy there. And they're probably, the fact it's a good country, they're going to do something about it. And we get the slight chance of our prestige maybe going up. And then, like I say, we're going to have to spend the 2-3 ops cards to move back to soft. Or either that or we're not going to get any war of ideas going on the rest of the turn, Okay, but it's not our turn to start with. And I have my hand, I haven't looked at the cards yet, but the jihadist player will start the turn anyway. Alright, so here we go. First card of this turn for the jihadist player. Right, unassociated card. Hambali, key GI operative. Player of Indonesia or an adjacent country as a cell and as ally or hard. I think that's unplayable. Player of Indonesia or an adjacent country has a cell. So as Indonesia, it does not have a cell. And, well, adjacency-wise, you can see it's actually adjacent to Pakistan as well. But Pakistan does not have a cell. It's a cadre. It's adjacent to Thailand, India, and Philippines, but there's no cells in any of them. The other part of that was and is ally or hard. If Indonesia or just but there's no cells. And to be honest, the adjacency, this is neutral, this is neutral, this is soft. So even if there was a cell, I don't think it would hit anyway. Anyway, there's not a cell, so either in Indonesia or any adjacent country to Indonesia. Yeah. So not playable. So they're not going to get to play that event and sneak, two reserves. But they are going to play it for the 3 ops. So, you okay with that, Grant? Countries a cell and his ally are hard. Yeah, I think we're fine. Right. So, flow chart. Is it a playable non-US event? No. Is Major Jihad success at poor possible? No. Now, Egypt's the leader in the race here. Remember, we briefly made a couple of mistakes in Somalia, forgetting about because we moved the troops in that they're not 1 to 4 more cells and troops. But anyways, this isn't the check here as Major Jihad success possible. Well, there's only 3 cells more than troops, so we need 5. They need 5. So no, funding tight, no. Is there a cell in good or fair Muslim? No. They've still got the US cells and the UK cell, but they're obviously not Muslim. And yeah, just the sales are in poor countries, and well, as for the Muslim countries, the two poor countries and the Islamist rule countries. So that's a no. Selling good or fair, no. Right, poor Muslim 1 to 4 more cells than troops. This is where I was still counting Somalia here when after I'd moved these troops in. So it doesn't count, but Egypt does. Egypt does have 1 to 4 more cells than troops and is poor. Yeah, but is there a movable cell that's adjacent to Egypt? There is not. Okay, so that's a yes, but that's a no. Is funding moderate? No. It's still hanging on, just hanging on to ample. So no, is there a cell available? There's 2 cells left, so it's going to recruit. And yeah, I mean, it's just, there's only Egypt, isn't there? Well, hold on. No, we do need to look here. But then that tells us it's only Egypt. First box is poor Muslim 1 to 4 more cells and troops. And that's only Egypt. Remember, there's 2 cells and 2 troops here, so there's not more 1 to 4 more cells than troops. So it's going to attempt to recruit in Egypt. Now, okay, it's going to grab a radicalization point here, isn't it? Well, there's 3 ops available, and there's only 2 cells on the track. I don't think I need to go and look things up here, Grant. We do 2 attempts to recruit. I suppose I'm just stopping in my tracks here thinking, if the recruit fails, they cells stay on the track. But, no, I don't even feel like I want to start considering that. That sounds silly, Grant. To think that we should do 3 die rolls, even though there's only 2 cells, to give us an extra opportunity to deploy the 2 cells. No, Grant, that's not right. Wait, let's just look up recruit. I'm pretty sure we need to have 3 cells. I think we're being a bit grantos at the moment, but anyway. Purpose, place cells, target any countries with cells or cadres. Right, so Egypt, that's fine. If wreck, it's not a wreck. If regime change automatic success, place 1 available sleeper cell, remove cadre. That's not getting me enough. It's not getting me any information there that I'm needing. Is it 8.2 in the rulebook? For each successful roll, that's how it starts. Right, for each successful roll, a recruit operation places 1 available sleeper cell in the country. Available means that the cell must be taken from a box on the funding track below or to the left of the funding marker. A failed recruit has no effect. Right. I feel like this is me going off on one here again, really. I can't see how I can roll 3 dice here when there's only 2 cells available. So, main procedure, for each card played for operations, select and announce 1 type of operate. Now hold on, this isn't bot rules, Grant. I don't think that's relevant. If I was playing as a jihadist player right now, this would apply, wouldn't it? So I think it'd be the same thing. Am I allowed to roll 3 dice here? Because it's a 3 ops card and I've only got 2 cells available. I don't think I am, but yeah, but I'm not really finding what. Well, let me pause here and I'm sure there's something that explains this clearly to me. I'll tell you what, though, reading the start of Rule 8, which is jihadist operations, it said card value determines the number of dice rolled, 8.1.2. So, governance determines the success range of the rolls. Right, so we're playing a 3-ops card, okay? That determines the number of dice that I can roll, right? So that's 3. This determines the governance of the country that we're doing the operation in determines the result. So I need to roll a 3 or less because it's poor. I'm not reading anything that tells me that. Now, see if I was doing a jihad right now. I mean, okay, you can't do a normal jihad let's just say Egypt was fair right now. And I was going to do a jihad, and I had 3 ops, and I had 3 cells. Well, let's just say I didn't have. Let's take that cell away. Let's say I was doing a jihad, and that's, by the way, that's an active cell. It's going to go back now. So I was doing a jihad for 3 ops, and there's only 2 cells here, because it says that you've got. It says. So I'm wondering if this is different. It says a jihad, for each roll in a target country, 1 cell there must go or already be active. So, although I've got 3 ops, I can only do 2 jihad die rolls, and I would turn both of them active, and then I would try to get, like I say, this would have to be fair or good to be able to do it. And then I'd have to, if it was fair, I'd have to roll a 1 or a 2 to succeed. And any failure would go back to the track. But, you know, I'm attempting to recruit here. I'm looking up at the track thinking there's 2 cells here. And yeah, I can roll 3 dice. And I'm not reading anything that tells me I can't be rolling 3 dice right now. Recruit says for each successful roll, a recruit operation places 1 available sleeper cell into a country. An available says means that the cell must be taken from a box on the funding track below or to the left of the funding marker. A failed recruit roll has no effect. Yeah, there's nothing there. Are we missing anything? Exceptions, recruiting and a regime change. No. The procedure is when you're carrying out an operation, for each card played for operations, select and announce 1 type of operation and where the operation will occur. Multiple locales may be involved. Then roll a number of dice equal to the card's value to determine how the operation succeed. If more than 1 country is involved, specify before rolling which dice are being rolled for which locales. All rolls from a given card are considered simultaneous. Man, I feel like I must have to have 3 cells available. I mean, if I didn't have any cells available, then the flowchart would have stopped me there and asked this cell available, no, and then it would have went to travel. But I mean, I could have 1 cell available here. But surely that's only 1 recruit attempt, isn't it? Why am I not finding this? Why is this not clear in the rules? I don't feel like I can go on until I find this, because I don't feel like I'm allowed to roll 3 dice right now. I think I'm allowed to roll 2 dice to try and recruit the 2 cells, and then the other op point is probably going to be, it's going to be used for radicalisation, I think. But it's just not, it's not jumping out at me here as being... Right, let me go and look into this a little more. Right, well, I'm in a bit of pickle here because I don't know if it's again, well, actually, I don't think it is my computer because I done a wee search on my phone when I was down the stairs. Trying to search on BGG. It's just, I had this the other day as well, so unless it's something to do with my Wi-Fi or my internet or something, it's not really coming up with any search. It's just spinning around. And basically I'm trying to search for recruit and try to find out. Just looking at 8.2 here again. 8.21 in particular. It says for each, I mean, it just starts for each successful roll, you know. I would have liked to have had something before that. I feel like there's something missing. But anyway, for each successful roll, a recruit operation places one available sleeper cell into a country. And then and it's got in brackets here, available means that the cell must be taken from a box on the funding track below or to the left of the funding marker. So it still doesn't really get me right out of things here, but I guess I'm thinking that these two cells are available, but they're the only two cells that are available. If you roll 3 dice and got 3 successes, we can only get the 2 cells, but then, yeah. Rolling 3 dice gives you an extra chance of getting an extra, you know, if I roll 2 dice, no, it's clearly better rolling 3 dice for the chance of getting 2 successes over rolling 2 dice and getting two successes over 2 dice is 100%, whereas 3, it's, you know, you've got that bit leeway. One of them could fail, but the other 2 could succeed. But I would never have thought of being able to roll 3 dice here, but am I being stupid? I really can't. There's nothing in the rulebook here that's stopping me from wanting to roll 3 dice. I mean, I'm looking from the start of the jihadist operations. I've read through that. I mean, if I go back, playing cards for operations. Well, let's look at that then. Maybe. Hang on, let me pause. I can't find anything. I can't find anything that's telling me I can only roll 2 dice here. Yeah, that's what I was automatically thinking I was only going to be able to do. So I really need help from getting on to BGG and looking up some stuff, because the new rulebook's not going to help me with this, I don't think. Jihadist bot, I mean, even the bot, oh, hang on here. What about the bot side of things? I don't think the fact it's not really bot rules I'm looking for here. I don't think. I'm missing something obvious, I think. Or the obvious is that you can roll 3 dice, Grant. Okay. It must be that the search engine's down on BGG, because that's me trying my phone, my tablet, and my computer. So unless there's something wrong with my internet, like I've said, it seems to be able to access everything else. Just when I do a search on BGG, it's just not getting anywhere. So that's a real downer, because I'm not sure I can carry on here without finding out the answer to this. And there's nothing in any documents I can think of finding the answer to this, and maybe that's enough to say, well, it's not there, Grant, so you just roll 3 dice. So coming back, what are we doing? We've got 3 ops from this card. We're going to do a recruit into Egypt, but there's only 2 cells on the track. I can't move on without. It's not even as if I can say. Well, I mean, can I roll 2 dice and then 1 dice separately? And I might get lucky. It's just to move on. I'm stuck. I would like to have played some more, but I feel like I need to know the answer to this. Okay, what I'm going to do is roll 2 dice and then roll a 3rd dice. But then if the 3rd dice, if the first 2 dice are roll, if there's no successes or 1 success, and then the 3rd dice are roll as a success, that then still doesn't help me, does it? Well, I need the 3rd dice to be not a success, so that then I can get away with it either way, can I? Is that right? Because, like, initially, like I said, I think I would be wanting to pick just 2 dice just now and roll them. Now, if the 2 dice are successes, that gets me out the hole as well, doesn't it? Okay. I'm not sure if I should be rolling 2 or 3 dice here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll 2 dice. And it's an attempt to recruit into Egypt. But we've got 3 ops. So, but hold on, Grant. Because if you're only using 2 of the ops like you initially thought, then you've got 1 ops for radicalisation. So you're not going to be able to resolve this until you find out more. There's no point in me rolling these dice. Damn it. Well, that spoiled the night. And I'm looking around at my computer and it's still spinning around trying to search for the word recruit on BGG. I don't think there's anything in the paperwork that I can get an answer to this. I mean, it's not early. I was close to. Well, to be honest, I was definitely going to finish this part. And I was hopeful I might get another part started, maybe even finished, because it's not late enough for me to call it a day. But no, I'm stuck. I'm afraid. I suppose one thing I could do is ask the question. I think I might be able to still put a question out there. I wondered about the examples of play. Maybe coming out with something like that. Or what about the troops? Hang on. What about cells on the track? Available cells. Right, no, to the left of the funding marker, below or to the left of the funding marker, they're available. Right, that's not a problem. No, that's not helping me either. There's nothing here helping me. Sleeper and active cells. No. It sort of feels like I should be allowed to roll 3 dice here, but something's telling me that can't be right, but okay, I'm going to pause and find something out. Right, well, I managed to post the question there. Just simple question, basically. Jihadist player plays a 3 ops card. There's only 2 cells available on the track. He wants to recruit. Does he roll 3 dice? Like I say, I just don't feel like he should be rolling 3 dice, but I can't sort of find anything in the rules to tell me that he doesn't. I'm sure I'm missing the obvious, but like I say, it could just be that the obvious is, yeah, he does roll 3 dice. Anyway, so what about 30 minutes? Well, I've just posted the questions now, so I think I'm kind of screwed. I don't feel like I can move on because that's just the first card play of the turn, isn't it? That's a bummer. Yeah, and I thought about rolling just 2 dice and then 1 dice, but if they only get to roll 2 dice, he's going to get to use the other ops for radicalization. I mean, even in the rules for radicalization, it's not going to give me that, I don't think. It's not going to tell me, it's not going to give me an example if you're recruiting, blah, blah, blah. It's just going to say if you've got ops left over. I'm pretty sure. If the jihadist bot performs no operations, or an operation using fewer ops in the card's ops value. Yeah, there's no... Like I say to you, if we were trying to do a jihad right now, and that was the situation, then obviously... that would have to be the situation. And the jihadist bot was trying to do a jihad right now with 3 ops. He wouldn't roll 3 dice. He would turn both these cells active and roll 2 dice. But this is a different thing. It's different, but it feels like it probably should be the same. I can only recruit 2 cells, so I should only be able to roll 2 dice. Okay. Well, what I'll do is I'll go on pause, and I might end up that I don't get back tonight because I'm really going to need somebody to answer this question reasonably quick. But I could still take a 15-20 minute break just now, come back in the hope that it's been answered, and then maybe I would just finish this part maybe. Like I say, I had hoped to maybe start the next part as well, but I've done no bad tonight, to be honest. I shouldn't really grumble, but it's just annoying getting stuck with something that feels like it's something simple. Okay, I'll be paused for now, and I'll be back later tonight maybe, or if not, next chance I get. Okay, cheers. Hi all, right, hopefully back to finish this part 12, isn't it? It's still the same night. I did get a reply to my question, which got me thinking, and then a couple other responses from Zod following the thread. Then the search engine came back up in BGG, and really that's what I needed to go and try and look for the answer. And then I thought I had the answer from the designer himself, pointing me to, and remember, pointing me to, and this is rule 9, which, yeah, we shouldn't be looking here. 9.4.2.5, and the designers quoted this rule just before the note. The last sentence says, if there is no suitable location, or if available cells in the funding track run out while operations values remain, conduct radicalization. So, and then what the question is, obviously it's back in the main game, and the question is what I'm asking. We've got 3 ops, there's only 2 cells. I think the question is 3 ops and only 1 cell, but anyway, how do you go about it? Do you roll? And I give credit to Steve, who answered my question. Unfortunately, I never put down that it was solo, and he says that if you're playing this, what you would do is you would roll the first dice, and then if you succeed, then you roll the second. You roll them separately, and this is what I think used to happen. I think this is what happened here. Available cells in the funded track run out while operations value remains If there is no, or if available cells in the funding track run out while operations values remains, conduct radicalization. Right, I'm sure that's not what I read. It sounded like it was Volko Runke that answered the question there. And he said you would roll the dice once, roll the dice twice, roll the dice. You know what? Right, hang on. Right, just had a bit of a sneezing fit there. I think I said this before, every time I come back up in my attic, that's where I am. Sometimes, well, not every time, but sometimes it must be the dust particles or something like that. Right, so here was a question. I mean, this is going back to, 2011 this is? And this is the base game, which is not the rules, not the bot rules we're using. But anyway, this is what got me heading down that track. And the thing is, the answer needed is much simpler than this. So I don't know why this is me extending my videos again, Sean, by going over things that are irrelevant. Yeah. Right, so the question was what to do when attempting recruit more cells than available in solo. So the guy says, let's say the AI draws a 3-ops unplayable event. Now that's what we're playing with here. It's a 3-ops unplayable event, and the flowchart indicates it should be to recruit. Now bear in mind this is using the old flowchart, but we came to recruit. Now it says due to funding only 1 cell is available. Well, we're not in that case, but it doesn't matter. Just say there's 1 cell on the track. It's the same thing. He's only got available 1 cell. Should I determine the target country/countries, make all 3 recruit rolls, but only place 1 cell regardless of successes? Roll once, regardless of success or failure, continue with radicalization for the remaining ops. And then roll once, if unsuccessful, continue rolling until successful, then perform radicalization with any remaining ops. Well, the designer replies that roll once, if unsuccessful, continue rolling until successful, then perform radicalization with remaining ops is right. This is a bit tricky case, I acknowledge. The rule in 9.4.2.5, last sentence before the note, in this particular case, you do have to roll jihadist dice one at a time rather than the usual simultaneity. He's got some. Right, is that right? Is that word right? No, I shouldn't challenge that. The guy seems to know what he's on about. Of 8.1.2. So I didn't quite read the same way as what it's written there though, but he did say it was 9.4.2.5, last sentence before the note. I think I just read that. There's the note. The last sentence is, if there is no suitable location or if available cells in the funded track run out while operations values remain, conduct radicalization. Yeah, but I get what he's saying is, if you got 3 die rolls, you roll 1, you roll 2, you roll 3. Now, if we roll 1, it recruits a cell. If we roll the second one, it recruits a cell. We don't need to roll the third one. And what we would do with the third one is use it for radicalization. However, if one of the first 2 failed, we would roll the third dice to try and recruit the 2 cells. Now, that's in the old days, in the old bot, right? So it got me thinking, and like I say, thanks, Steve, for your response. I should have made it clearer. I was playing solo. And Zod, I'm not sure if you were on the same track as me here, Zod, but if you're watching, you may well have been. I didn't quite grasp how you were putting things. But anyway, the answer is in the new rule. Because what bothered me about this was, where the heck is this in the... This is the old rule. This is the old solo rules. I don't want to be looking here. I shouldn't be looking here. And it started getting me thinking, oh, maybe I should be looking here. Maybe these are additions in the rule 12, that, that this isn't completely a new thing However, no, well, it still is completely new as far as I'm aware, because it's in here and it's way back here. Recruiting or placing cells. We've been here before and we've read this bit before many a time. Unfortunately, it's one of these ones that wraps around onto the next page. So this is about recruiting or placing cells, and then there's the exception, which I'll turn the page now, because it's not the exception, it's the next again bit, that's the important bit to what we're talking about. So exception is about plots, blah blah blah, use 12.34 instructions. Here's the bit that tells me what to do. When performing a recruit operation, 8.2, if the number of available ops plus reserves, and a maximum of 3, which we've got 3, okay, we've got 3 ops to play with. If it exceeds the number of available cells in the track, we've got 2 cells in the track, so it does exceed it. It says the jihadist bot rolls a number of dice equal to the available cells and then performs radicalisation when any remaining ops. So they've changed this slightly, I think, but it's right there. It's written right there in the rules. And I've read over that before as well, and yeah, I can only apologise for I'm pretty sure somebody would have picked that up in the video, and probably I might have a comment in this video about, yeah, it's right there on 12 point whatever it is, 12.3.2, isn't it? 12.3.2, the last paragraph or something like that. So it's clear. It's quite clear. So I'm going to try and finish this turn and create this part, because I want to feel like the last 15 minutes probably, although I've been paused for a good bit there, but still probably the last 15 minutes of this video footage have been me baffled about how this works. So and I was ashamed to sort of leave things there, and I'd like to get this part finished. So it's quite clear. We've got 3 ops, and obviously we don't need to use reserves. He's not got reserves anyway, but 3 ops is the most you can get anyway. Even though I tried to give the bot 4 ops in the previous playthrough, but and that, because that exceeds the number of available cells on the track, I'm only going to roll the number of dice equal to the available cells. I was getting a bit annoyed there because I thought, this isn't telling me. It tells me right there, quite clearly. And then with the last point, we're going to perform radicalisation. Okay, so we're trying to recruit the last 2 cells into Egypt, up poor. We're going to roll 2 dice, and I'm going to put a 1 back on Hambali, the card, to say that we've got 1 ops left. But you can see, I think this was different from before, because in the previous, it looked like you would roll 1 dice, see if it succeeded, then another dice, see if it succeeded, and if there was still 1 failure, there's still a cell on the track, you would roll the 3rd dice, and then not maybe have some radicalisation. Although the way I read it in the rule there, it looked like I don't know why I'm looking at it. Roll 1 recruit operation at a time. Yeah, sorry, did I completely read all that? That was the bit that got me going. Rule 1 recruit operation at a time. These are old rules, right enough. If there is no suitable location, or if available cells in the funded track run out while operations value remain, then conduct radicalisation. So I think that does explain it. I forgot to read that first sentence. But it's different. It's different now. We're going to roll just 2 dice, because there's only 2 cells, and then radicalisation with no matter if these are successes or failures, we're not going to use the last point up. Okay, so a 3 or less it needs to recruit. Okay, so 1 success, 1 failure. So interestingly, there is 1 cell getting left on the track, but that's good. I like that. I like how that's done, and I'm glad I've read it there. just straight up in the rules. So they've not quite managed the 5 cells. So 1 failure, stays on the track. And like I say, they've got one left over. Now, I think in the old rules, we would roll that last dice to try and grab that cell down here. But they've changed that up a bit. Unless I'm picking it up wrong. So we've got 1 point of radicalisation now. So we look at that. Right. So first, there's only 1 point. There's no reserves, right? First, if any cells are in the US, well, there's 2 cells in the US, and 1 or more WMD plots are available, there's not a WMD plot available. Moving on. If US... Right, okay, I was going to say, because I've switched my posture, if US posture is hard, well, it is, and there is no global war on terror relations penalty, well, there's a -3 global war on terror relations penalty, so that doesn't apply. If US posture is soft, it is not. And then recruit, oh my, that's going to put the cell in Pakistan. How about that? How about that? My card, well, it's a new hand, isn't it? Could this not have happened last turn when I had that card? What was it again? Can't remember the card name. The one that was going to remove a cell. It was only playable if it was a cell in Pakistan. Anyway, sorry, jumping away from that. So recruit in the Muslim country with a cadre that has the best jihad Tyrone modifier. Doesn't come into it yet. To be honest, I don't need to read on. We're looking to recruit in a Muslim country with a cadre. And there's only one, I think. Yeah. So it's going to recruit here. Now, that's going to be a roll as well, Grant. Fair enough. Yeah, that's the only cadre marker. Yeah. So we're going to use that last one ops, to roll 1 dice to try and recruit that 1 cell into Pakistan. Needs a 3 or less, yeah? In the Muslim country with a cadre that's best, yeah. Using the recruit and travel to column to select among multiple possibilities. Well, there's only the 1. Right, so a 3 or less is what he's wanting. Right, 6, so that fails. So that was the last point, the last ops point to try and recruit into Pakistan, and it failed. Okay, fair enough. Good. Right. That's the card finished, isn't it? Right, let's do 48 minutes. Yeah, I need to wrap up now, but we might as well do their second card. We've not looked at our hand yet, so I can come back to, well, if I get the chance tomorrow, to looking at my hand, deciding what we're going to do. Obviously, I'm thinking about trying to do regime change, Central Asia, and then go back to soft. I guess that's what I'm trying to think about right now. But anyway, second card. Now, hold on. No, he didn't play this for event, did he? No, played it for ops. Yeah, it wasn't playable on event, so he doesn't get any reserves. Okay, so next card, Sharia, as a US card with 2 ops, and nothing in reserve still. Alright, so flowchart. Playable non-US event, no. Major jihad, success at poor possible. Not quite. One cell short in Egypt. Yeah, so not quite. Is funding tight? No. Is there a cell in good or fair Muslim? Don't think so. Only other cells are in Somalia and Central Asia is Islamist rule. And then the non-Muslim countries up there. But so no. Poor Muslim with 1 to 4 more cells than troops. Yes. Egypt only though. Somalia. Yeah, we blundered that a couple of times. So Egypt is a yes, because it's got 4 more cells in troops. However, it's not got a movable cell adjacent. So that's a no. Is funding moderate? No. Is there a cell available? Yes, there's one cell available, so he's got 2 ops. We're going here again. Poor Muslim will want 4 more cells and troops. Yes. Egypt's only 1. So we're going to attempt to recruit in Egypt. And we've got not the exact same situation, but we've got 2 ops and only 1 cell. So we know what to do now, don't we? We roll once and we save 1 ops of the 2 ops that we had, because there's only 1 cell, and that will be used for radicalization. And well, if this succeeds, this recruit, that could be interesting. What happens if that fails? Well, mind you, it's not on the map. The cell's not on the map, so if we fail the recruit there, here, as we're doing, then the radicalization attempt to recruit could still try and recruit that. That sounds a bit iffy, but I think it's okay. Right, let's see what happens anyway. So they need a 1 to 3, it's just 1 die. And yeah, 3 or less. Oh, well, they get it anyway. Okay, so, now hold on. Yeah, so they've got 1 ops left. They've used the one ops of Sharia to place a cell. So they've now got 5 cells in Egypt. I suppose it was an interesting question? Say that had failed, right? And that cell's still on the track. And we come down to the 1 ops that's left over. And this doesn't apply, this doesn't apply, this doesn't apply. So this applies. Recruiting the Muslim country by a cadre, right? I think this is okay, but it seems a little bit iffy. If we had failed with that recruit, then that's us use that 1 ops. So we use the radicalization then to attempt then to recruit in Pakistan with that same cell. No, that's okay. I think that's okay, isn't it? Because it's like a bit of what I was talking about, how the old rules used to work. You would roll 1 die at a time, and if it failed, you would roll the other die. So you're still looking at the same cell, aren't you? Yeah, I think that's okay. Right, well, unfortunately it did succeed. So now we're going to get a... that's a 3. That's a 3 resources grant. Oh my! I'll tell you what, I hope one of the oil price. Oh no, they're not oil producers, are they? Yeah, just as well. Because they're on 2 resources as that would give them another 3 up to 5, and they only need 6 to win. But okay. So we're going to have to use this other ops. Well, it can't recruit. There's no cells. So what's it going to do then? So 1 ops left, radicalization. Doesn't apply. It can't recruit. It's probably going to add it to reserves, isn't it? Yeah. So, because it can't do any of the first 4 bullets. First 4 bullets it can't do. The 5th bullet is add any remaining ops to reserves if possible. Well, it can do that. There's no reserves as... Yeah, it's going to use that 1 ops to add that to the reserves. And that'll be that. Okay. So more trouble now. In fact, we might be staying hard a bit to like regime change in there and possibly regime change in there as well. I don't know if that's like I've been told a couple of times, 2 or 3 times already to like deal with a regime change and deal with it first. So the problem is that because of this situation, yeah, but hang on, Grant. If you regime change in Central Asia, Um, well, hold on, though. You could potentially regime change in Central Asia hard with these 6 troops. I don't need them anymore. And then what I'm just thinking, Egypt's going to go Islamist rule as well. I could then send the 2 troops back to the track and regime change in here before then going soft. You know, because that sort of makes some sense. I know people are saying you should resolve one regime change first, but you know, to do the other one, I need to go hard again. It's like the hard and soft posture is the problem, isn't it? Right, okay. Right, I'm going to have to call it a night now. It was a wee bit of downer at the end of that. And it was all because BGG's search engine went down. Not that I don't appreciate the replies I got to my question. These 2 cards were played. Well, they're discarded, yeah. Right, so we've got half the deck done now. It's going to be my play when I come back. I mean, I'll put that there, but whether I'll notice it or not, probably more look at the cards. We've not looked at our cards yet. I'm going to leave that till the morning as well. And yeah, it was good to get that resolved because I was starting to think, am I being stupid here? It felt like it was a simple sort of question, you know. But that's why, see the old rules, really, looking, diving into all this, there was a lot more in the rules previously, I feel, anyway. Mind you, looking at them, yeah, it was about 2 full pages, over 2 full pages of rules. About the jihadist bot, there's only a page and a half. Well, actually, no. To be honest, it's about the same. I do hope. It started me panicking because I started thinking that these new rules maybe don't cover everything, and you do need to look back at night. And what got me thinking that was last night, when I played, or was it earlier today? Can't remember. I came across a reference to Rule 9.5. I mean, I thought that means you've got to look at Rule 9.5 here. Now, when I initially opened up these rules, I thought Rule 9, the original bot, was still applicable, but it then seemed to be that wasn't the case. But when it references, rules from the previous bot, it does sort of make you think. It's not just that one. There was one down here for 9.1, wasn't there? Anyway, I mean, it did cover it there, so we were fine in the end, and a bit annoyed I didn't realise, because I've read that rule a few times, so it wouldn't surprise me if I got a comment about that before. Well, mind you, I'm not going to leave any comment in the header about this because it's in the same video that I've resolved the situation, so you maybe get a comment and then somebody saying, right, you notice this later on, you find out later on, blah, blah, blah. Which is fine as well. Okay, I'm going to get away for now. That'll be me for the night. I've enjoyed it tonight, though. It's been good. So I'll get back when I can. Okay, cheers.